Small MPVs are growing increasingly fashionable nowadays. They've all got their own agendas and USPs, and most of the time those USPs are actually removed from the whole practicality side of things. I mean, over the last 2 or 3 years or so, manufacturers have turned their attention towards new, shinier models with SUV-inspired designs. I mean, think about it. When's the last time you heard people giving the Vauxhall Meriva or the Kia Venga the time of day? And that brings me to the Ford B-Max, a small 5-seat MPV that was launched back in 2012, and it aims to be, well, a practical family car. There's no SUV makeup or anything. It's a bit weird, isn't it? But is there space in today's market for an MPV that's just an MPV? Well, I say just an MPV, the B-Max has got one particular party trick that's been plastered over billboards all over the place. It's got no B-pillar, and you may think, well, that's a bit of a novelty, but it actually makes getting people and cargo in and out of the car so much easier. But then you may think, what about safety? Surely not having a B-pillar's a bit unsafe. Well, Ford have thought of that as well. You see, Ford has put extra reinforcements in these front and rear doors, which essentially substitute that B-pillar, so no need to worry in terms of safety. And these sliding doors alone are just really handy, especially when it comes to cramped car parks, although they can be quite heavy to operate from the inside. And space back here overall is really impressive. I mean, it's easy to move about, there's loads of leg room, there's loads of headroom, and I guess the only slight niggle is that space for a middle passenger can be a bit restricted when it comes to elbow room, but that's just due to the B-Max's compact dimensions. Now, the boot has a nice wide opening, which always helps when loading things in. It's also got a nice low loading lip and an adjustable boot floor, which makes it easier when you're loading larger objects or child's buggies, for example. Now, there's 318 litres of storage space in here, which isn't massive, it's about average hatchback size, but this can be extended to 1,386 litres by folding those rear seats down. Now, when it comes to those rear seats, now these fold down nice and flat, but you can also fold this front seat, so loading longer objects is just a bit easier. Now this is where the B-Max starts to really show its age, because it's got the old Ford layout with this motherboard of buttons here and this tiny screen submerged in the dashboard. And this setup, which you'll have seen in the Cougar and the Fiesta, does take a long time to get used to. It's just so fiddly, but it doesn't skimp on kit. I mean, you can get the likes of DAB radio, Bluetooth, sat-nav, a reversing camera, a flurry of Ford Sync voice-activated controls. You can even get sophisticated inner-city tech like Active City Start, which can brake the car for you if your attention strays from the car in front. Now, practicality-wise, there's a few useful cubbies dotted around. There's some cup holders here, nice little storage compartment here, but the door bins are a bit of an awkward size unless you're going to use them purely for bottles. And it lacks that big centre cubby here that other MPVs have usually got, where you can store your likes of wallet and your keys. Right, so let's do some driving. So with the missing B-pillar, you'll probably find yourself struggling to find the seatbelt from time to time. Anyway. So, usually with MPVs, the preferred engine of choice is a diesel, and there are diesel B-Maxes available, but we haven't got that today. Today we've got the famed 3-cylinder 1-litre Ecoboost petrol with 123 brake horsepower. But don't worry, it does have enough oomph to pull the B-Max pretty well actually, especially when it comes to town driving. And okay, it may not be the best when it comes to efficiency, expect anywhere from 25 to 40 miles per gallon, but it is one of the more entertaining engines the B-Max has to offer. And speaking of entertainment, I was previously impressed by the Ford C-Max, S-Max and even the Mammoth Galaxy when it comes to driving dynamics. Big cars that feel like small cars in the bends. But what about the B-Max? Well, I think it does feel quite compact on the road. It certainly doesn't feel bulky, but it's not what I'd call fun. I mean, the steering's a bit vague and, well, you get quite a lot of body roll when you go into corners at speed. I mean, driving dynamics don't really matter that much in an MPV. It's more of a bonus than a selling point in its bigger siblings, but it is worth noting if you're after that trademark Ford fun factor. Now, all round comfort-wise, the B-Max is really impressive. I mean, it's a pleasure to drive, be it on the motorway or around town. But you still get a smidge of firmness in the ride. It's certainly no Honda Jazz, but all round, yeah, it's very comfortable to drive. An entry-level B-Max is going to cost you around £16,000, which is a large chunk more than its purely practical-minded rivals like the Vauxhall Mariva and Honda Jazz. So for the sake of an extra £2,000, you might want to take the B-Max for a test drive first to see if it's definitely what you're after. Or maybe you'll go for something like an EcoSport. I suppose that's the next logical Ford stepping stone if you're after a bit more style, and it'll actually cost you slightly less than the B-Max. But it's grown increasingly difficult to find a place in today's market for MPVs like this. I mean, sure, they've got plenty of practicality, but people want style thrown in too. So if you'd like to watch a video of one of the B-Max's rivals, then you can click on top of the screen. If you'd like to browse prices on a B-Max, you can click on the bottom left. And of course, if you haven't already, subscribe to the Car Keys YouTube channel, then click the link on the right. That's it.